This is the Blitz Breakdown.
What is going on, everyone? Hope you are having a terrific day. The spirit of Ruby Tuesday living on here in the Blitz Breakdown WPRI 12+. You've got me, Eric Rueb, Providence Journal. I'm here with my co-host, JP Smollins from WPRI 12. JP, ready for another week of football?
I am ready for another week of football. I got to see some more teams this week, kind of get a maybe better feel. Maybe our predictions will be a little bit better than last week.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, we got all of our picks right last week, so that's always a bonus.
Sure.
I'm not gonna.
Go with that.
Don't fact check that. I'm just
right.
pretty sure we got them all right. Week 2, a very interesting week, a big hyped week, a lot of big time matchups, and I gotta say did not live up to the billing. I was a little disappointed with the way the games kind of played out.
It was blowout city, I guess, in a couple of the big matchups. But, I mean, I don't know exactly what to make out of that. It's still early in the season. Teams are trying to find themselves. If things start going wrong, they maybe, just go really, really wrong, and they sort of avalanche down. Maybe that's how East Providence would like to look at it.
You start, I mean, we're not going to go into these games too much because they were just such dramatic blows, but Westerly East Providence Journal game of the week. It was the WPRI 12 game of the week, and then Westerly hangs 41 in the first quarter. The game was over. Right. Hendricken and Cumberland, we were interested to see, can Cumberland stick around? Nope. Hendricken's defense, too dominant. They blew the game. That game was a blowout. West Warwick, Pawtucket, maybe there's, Pawtucket coming off a win. Maybe they're fiery. Nope. West Warwick ran away with that one. Narragansett Davies, Super Bowl IV rematch, Division IV rematch. It ended up not being the best of games. St. Ray's Central, here we go. Two teams ready to prove it. Ugly, ugly football. The lone exception we had was NK LaSalle, but yes. I don't know what to make of it. Is it just early? It's got to be just early season stuff. We're still, or maybe we're just wrong. There's that possibility.
Well, I mean, I guess going backwards, I mean, NK LaSalle, I mean, obviously LaSalle was off to a hot start. This first sort of taste. NK, I think, was kind of, I wouldn't say they kind of had their spurs up maybe after their first kind of in-state sort of situation. So I don't know. I think that they were probably maybe a little bit more ready for what to expect. I don't know.
Yeah, I talked a lot in the preseason, wrote about it a lot, providencejournal.com. It's just the parity. I thought we were going to have a lot of parity this year, and now 2 weeks into the season, I'm like, I think we can just start writing the Super Bowl previews now. I think we see the contenders in each division and now who's going to step up. I mean, we look at Division 1, and I from what I saw last week, North Kingstown, LaSalle are in the mix. Hendricken's still the top dog. But, I mean, do we need to look at anyone other than North Kingstown, LaSalle at this point?
I mean, I personally will. I mean, Central always seems to punch up in those big games against LaSalle and Hendricken, so I think they'll kind of be sticking around. And I think, again, with St. Ray's, they have the skill position talent, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing too. Is I don't want people to misconstrue what we're saying. The talent is there, right. But the game I saw Saturday, especially with Central St. Ray's, I thought there was going to be. It was awful football. 24 penalties in the game, no execution. And then to go see two teams like NK and LaSalle play where they're playing smart football, it was refreshing. It was nice to see. But I expect more out of some of these teams. And I don't know, am I setting my expectations too high?
Well, and I think that's the other thing too, early in the season. It's you have these heavyweight matchups. Can we space these out and put these games in October and them, kind of like the old college thing, let them get through a couple of cupcakes.
Yeah.
Kind of get their game shape up.
Yeah, I will say 8-0 Central St. Ray's game, kind of gross to watch, but you can kind of see the pieces are there of why these teams will be getting better as the season goes on. Division 2 right now, with what Westerly's done, I don't know if anyone's going to beat them.
I think it's going to be very hard. But, I mean, I get to see maybe one of those contenders, those teams, West Warwick. I saw them on Friday night. So it's kind of the formula, Coach Pennington, it's just going to be a tough team that's, right?
The culture he's established there is so great where those kids are so tough. And they're going to play hard. They're going to run the football. They're going to try to control the clock. So I can see that being a potential matchup. But I thought that's what we were going to get from East Providence.
Well, and I think that's the thing. And East Providence is ill-suited to kind of play the catch-up game. They're not really good at that. So I think, but obviously Landon is he's been starter since freshman year. He's what they run offensively and what they can do offensively. It's a different level at Division 2.
And don't sleep on South Kingstown. Okay. They played Portsmouth that first game. That's a Division 1 matchup. Low scoring, kind of ugly game, but they were in it. I think it was 12-7, something like that. Last week they play a Middletown team that's still kind of young, still kind of coming together. So we haven't really gotten a taste for the Rebels yet, but I want to hand Westerly the crown right now.
Right.
SK is the defending champ, so we probably should give them a little bit of credit for that.
For sure.
Division 3,
Yes.
Classical, another blowout last week. They look like the class of this division, not to use a terrible pun.
Yeah.
I thought Mount Hope was there. Mount Hope loses to Pontigansett. Now all of a sudden, I don't know what to make of anything.
Okay. Pontigansett, you're going to see them this week, right?
I'm going to go see them on Friday night. That's the plan.
All right.
So again, JP doesn't like to talk about a college football player. He's played at a different level. I look like I played college football. Didn't play any football because I was soft. Division 3, teams that aren't soft, Mount Hope, Pontigansett.
Right.
Tough, hard-nosed football. Does that make them a tougher matchup for a team like Classical when it comes to play?
Well, I remember last year. I mean, Pontigansett went to Classical. It was a close game first half, and then Classical just blew doors off second half, right? Rematch in the Super Bowl, and they were able to kind of impose their will. Because, it's going to be a different style of football, but they talk about styles make fights, right? And I don't think, they want to particularly see Classical because they're athletic and they're fun. But in December, can you still... I mean, who knows in December? Can you throw the football around? Can you, I think toughness kind of wins and momentum wins too.
And again, that's not to say Classical's not tough. They're still kind of building what they have.
Right.
But I think all of us, myself included, fall in love with that offense. We see it going, but then come playoff time, this Pontigansett team's... I was down on them at the start of the year. I'm kind of big on them now, this is the waves of high school football and how it goes. I'm going to get a firsthand look on Friday. And Division 4, I love Division 4 football, and I don't care what anyone says. Right. Plenty of people bag on it. And right now, Narragansett looks like that team.
Right.
They're scoring points. They're doing their thing. But I feel like my favorite part about D4 is someone's going to show their face at some point.
Well, and you mentioned Hope. Off to a
How about the Blue Wave?
Right? I mean, after all these years of really, really struggling as a program with numbers, with every possible thing, to be 2-0 at this point,
more wins they've had the last 5 years combined this season. They get a win this weekend, which another game I'm going to be at Saturday. Already have it on the schedule. If they win that one, and they're a team like Peter Quay knows what he's doing. He's built programs before. He's done a very good job there, but North Smithfield's a team. I think we haven't seen that number 2 team pop yet in D4, but I think the fun of D4 is we might not know until the end.
All right. Good.
All right. Well, it's going to be fun to see how everything plays out kind of as we go. Week 3 coming soon. We're going to hit our first break. I'm going to do it on time. I'm going to be on time so I don't get yelled at like I did last week. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the game of the week, LaSalle, North Kingstown. And we'll be back in a minute. What's going on, everyone? We are back. The Blitz Breakdown. You've got me, Eric Rueb, with the Providence Journal, JP Smollins, WPRI 12. We are talking high school football. We are talking the game of the week, and North Kingstown LaSalle came in with a lot of hype, and I'll tell you what, that game delivered.
The crowd where did you park?
Packed.
Where did you park?
Well,
what time did you get there? Yeah, all right.
Because I'm a crazy person, I got there 90 minutes before game time. They had a nice spot. I don't want to say it was reserved for me, but it was open. But it was wall to wall. Had to be 3,500 people there.
Right.
Insane atmosphere. North Kingstown student section right now, number 1 student section I've seen by a long shot, from start to finish. Quality play, the way everything was executed, unbelievable football game. For those who didn't follow with anything going on. North Kingstown, 21-20 win. LaSalle jumped out first. We saw Antonio Bearden do things that only Antonio Bearden can do. A little back corner post fade, caught it. Unbelievable touchdown. North goes on an answer. Nick Stafford showing off his running. We had Greg Kerwin acting like blocking Gronk, just shoving dudes aside as Stafford's following and running through. Chris Charnello scored. Stafford opens up the second half. It was 21-7. Game's over. Wasn't over. LaSalle came back. And at the end, it was LaSalle scored a touchdown. Jalen Mosley, the all-state track kid, and I felt awful for him. Yeah. Scores a touchdown in the moment, spiked the ball. It wasn't directed at anyone, just spiked the ball, and in high school football, automatic flag. Backed it up 15, wet turf. Kid missed the extra point, slipped a little bit. And it was like, it was tough. You feel for the kids. But the thing that I took from that the most was that was... After the game, there was a sensation of this is what this is supposed to look like. Championship football being played in week 2 of the season. How hard is it to play at that level that early in the year?
Well, I think that's why LaSalle sort of front-loaded their schedule with 2 heavyweights, a New York team and Massachusetts team. They were prepared, and again, if that doesn't happen, they hit the extra point, they go to overtime. Maybe they're 3-0 coming out of this week, but it's. it's a new world order, right?
Yeah.
You have to. I mean, the way that they're building schedules now and sort of shaping them out, you got to find teams that have open dates. So you have to make these things work, right?
I mean, North now they played Hendrick and they've played LaSalle.
Right.
I mean, there's not going to be much more for the rest of the season. For them now, it's just this improvement and this growing. And I saw a lot of growth in this game compared to what I saw the last time they played. The offense, I think, is starting to find its identity where we're seeing more of a balance. Yes, they can pass, they can throw. They've got a great receiver in Cooper Berthelot. He was injured, unable to play in this one. They've got this tight end, Greg Kerwin, who I'm huge on.
Right.
Big sophomore, good hands. They're starting to use him a little bit more as a tight end now as a blocker. We saw that in this game. Their receiving core, the rest of them, just these small, shifty guys who get open. They got a great run game with Stafford and Charnello, but I think this was the first game where I saw them where they're not going to really dictate their own offense. They're going to see what the defense is giving them and do it. And it was, I think sometimes you have to do that. We saw that with the New England Patriots, where we're gonna see what you do, what you don't do well, and we're gonna try to take advantage. Is that easier on offense when you kind of like, okay, we know they're gonna have troubles with this run, we're gonna run the ball a little bit,
And then
more.
just keep going till they stop it, and then it opens up other things, right? Because then if it's like a running situation, they have to bring a safety up, then you can hit something over the top, right?
And that was the biggest play that they made, I thought, at the end of the first half, was they had Kerwin, who's 6'4", lining up on the outside, and they had this 5'8" corner on him. All of a sudden, the safety starts shifting over, and they're just running right over the guard on that left side because there's no run support. And Stafford just ate the whole game, 101 yards. He had a touchdown on that play, and it was really interesting to see how they kind of made that adjustment. And then once LaSalle changed, they started doing a little bit more power the other way with Charnello, and the Hendricken game, they looked lost on offense. But this shows how they're kind of developing, and I'm really going to be – I mean, I don't know how you stop an offense that has that many weapons where, like, all right, you're going to overplay the run. We got 6'4" over the top. What do you want to do with that?
Right, or we can throw in the slot and just keep spreading you out.
Yep.
Take your pick.
Their defense looked really good too, I thought. Tolly Watson, Neftali, I can't remember which one the young man goes by. Tolly Watson's easier for me, so I don't say Neftali Perez, who's an old baseball player.
Right,
That's my broken brain. 3 sacks in the game. Chris Charnello is just a dude at linebacker. Right. I will say the secondary, there may be some concerns there. LaSalle's got a great receiving core, and they kind of picked them apart. They made plays when they needed to, but in Rhode Island, the secondary is that really that big of a thing? If you're getting that pass rush, if that pass rush is getting there, you can make up for a lot, right?
You can definitely make up for a lot. And obviously the athletes, you want to get them out in space, and it takes time to make that happen. So if you're getting rushed up front, quarterback, then you need a quarterback that either roll out or kind of scramble a little bit, buy some extra time. But again, it's sort of that situation where your quarterback, I mean, they're veteran quarterbacks at LaSalle, at North Kingstown. So I think by the end of the season, though, that offense is going to kind of be humming, and I think it should make for a very interesting postseason if they meet again.
I'm curious to see how many teams are just going to kind of throw away the ground game, just knowing they're going to get beat up by a bigger NK team, and say, okay, let's just see if we can throw it 50 times and beat these guys.
Right.
Because with the way their defense played on Saturday, it's going to be hard to beat them. And outside of those Hendrickens.
Physically up front, how
they're big. They got big. Like they're big and they're tough. They're built to win. I mean, week 1 we had NK Hendricken. That's a Super Bowl. I wouldn't hate that. But I'll tell you what, LaSalle's in the mix. Yeah. LaSalle's very good. Well, and not a lot of people expected that.
And the speed to burn, right?
It's so everywhere. Right. I mean, you got track kids at all your skill positions, and you can see the speed. The thing that impressed me most in this game, LaSalle's been doing this 2-quarterback system, which I am not a huge fan of, and I understand why you do it, and you do it if you have the right kid. And Sam Perry, his dad, James Perry, coach at Brown, I'm sure Dan Copen is talking to him and saying, hey, we're going to sit you after halftime. So Perry sits the whole third quarter. I'm on the sidelines. I see him. He's talking to all those guys, keeping his guys up. Yeah. Their second quarterback, Brady Nardozzi, had some struggles. They go back to Sam in the 4th, and he just played like it was no big deal. And just the poise. How tough is that for a 15-year-old to do? I mean, 15, 16-year-old, whatever.
It's super tough. I mean, just to have that emotional intelligence to kind of not put your head down and just be like sulking on the bench, because it just sucks the life out of your team. And you don't want people choosing sides, especially in that team dynamic. It's brutal.
I'm more like, kids are going to get benched, and I'm sure everyone's kind of dealt with that, but it's his ability to come back into the game without, like, it's like it never happened. I'm amazed. Is that a lot from, do you think that is being a coach's kid?
Well, exactly. The son of a coach. It's just like, you've heard these stories, you've experienced them, and I'm sure that dad has probably said, it's just got to tough it out and just keep your head down and keep doing what you need to do. And I mean, I've seen him a good amount of times, and I think that obviously he has a lot of talent. He has that savvy. He just feels like he knows. There's a comfort with him and what he's going to do in the offense. You don't feel like anything's rushed or jittered, and
And is it a problem? I don't know, but it's a good problem for LaSalle to have because the other kid, Nardozzi, is really talented.
Right.
Like he made a couple throws in that game early in that third quarter where you're like, and he's been cold the whole game. Just comes out there slinging it, got him a touch, and like, okay, this kid can play a little too. So it'll be interesting to see that dynamic as we go down the stretch. North Kingstown next week, they're hosting Westfield, team from Massachusetts, and LaSalle's got a big one against St. John's Prep. It's going to make for an interesting weekend for them, and we'll see how these teams grow. And we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back here with everyone's favorite segment. We're going to make picks. The waffle man himself, JP, he's going to come up with some decisions. So we will be right back here on the Blitz Breakdown. Welcome back to the Blitz Breakdown. I'm Eric Rueb with the Providence Journal, joined by JP Smollins at WPRI 12. It's time for everyone's favorite segment. Week 2 of our entire show's existence. We're making picks. We got Mr. IHOP over here, JP Smollins.
Can I say this is my least favorite segment?
JP hasn't learned to eat the crowds. Listen, I had an entire student section of North Kingstown's students chanting "Rube's a coward" on Saturday night, which was, I mean, well deserved. I was a coward. I was wrong. They gave it to me. I got a good laugh out of it. I only wish I had it on video, but yeah, you make the picks, and guess what? Like I said, we got all our picks right last week. I checked. I went through, and I'm sure everyone else did. We got every single pick right because that's what we do. We're going to pick a game from each division because let's have some fun with it, and we're going to start up in Division 1 matchup. Barrington is Central in a game that's all of a sudden kind of interesting. Barrington's got some great young talent. Griffin Ingram's been having himself a season. Kellen Johnson with that offense. Central coming off a... we referred to it earlier, an ugly performance. Not great. They got a lot to prove. A game like this, what are you looking for?
Well, I think now, I mean, you hate to sort of think like in week 3, that's just like, your playoff must win. Exactly. Must win. Like, really? But yeah, I guess that's where we are. So I think Central will be desperate and they'll play desperately. And I would assume that they'll be able to rally to get a victory over a young Barrington team. But Barrington, of course, their offense is very tough to defend, and I mean I think it's in the water there. It's like they run the same offense, and everyone's well schooled in it. So I wouldn't want to get behind if I was Central. Let's put it that way, because again, it'll just be one of those games where it's just like they suck the life out of it, and then you just try to make plays, and then one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you're down 14-0, and it just like seems like the game's going to last for.
All right, enough waffling, JP. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take.
Yeah, already. Come on.
Good. I'm going to go with Mike Washington in Central. Desperation. Yeah. Desperation.
Listen,
Desperate times.
I think Barrington's got a good chance. Their offense very tough. It's tougher to plan against because it's the option. You have to be able to do it. 16 penalties, I think, for Central last week's bad. Right. And if they're flagged in this game, they're going to lose by 1 billion. But I just, their talent level is so high defensively. They have so much speed. I think that's going to be the difference. And right now, I think Central, like you said, hungry. I'm going to go with the Knights, too. Okay. But we're okay with that. Moving to Division 2. Potential big battle, 2 teams with very similar styles. South Kingstown taking on Woonsocket, the defending D2 champs, against the Villanovan teams that's 2-0 and playing in their new park.
Playing in their new park, and they lit up Mount Pleasant. So I mean, they seem like they've got a load to bear this year. So, but again, the defending champs on the road. I don't know. Maybe this could be our game of the week. I don't know. It would be a very interesting one to see. But I've seen the new facility up close, so I think there's a lot of like buzz in Woonsocket, a lot of like life and excitement.
So does that mean you're going to give the home team the pick?
Picking against the defending champs? Come on.
You make a pick. Come on. I'll start calling you IHOP every week if I have to.
South Kingstown. Defending champs.
I want to believe in this Villanovan's team. Yep. Off to a great start. I don't know about the quality of opponent they played. No disrespect to those teams, but they're going to have to run the ball, and they're going to have to run the ball tough. Ariel Medina's been good, but South Kingstown has Dante Payno.
Yes.
He's a dude. We're going to take the Rebels because I believe Dante Payno, he might have 50 carries in this game, and I think SK would be okay with that if that happens.
Very okay with that.
This game should take about 1 hour and 20 minutes to be played with the amount those 2 teams are going to run the ball. Division 3, Providence Journal game of the week. Don't know if it's going to be WPRI's game of the week yet. Cranston East at Pontigansett, a 5-minute drive from my house. James Cook, head coach at Cranston East, won a Super Bowl at Pontigansett. Very interesting dynamics going on there. Does that make these games more fun?
I think it's interesting, obviously, but I think now maybe we're almost at the final tail end of it because the kids that he probably coached are now like moving. Maybe that's the senior class this year, and then they'll be off to.
I've lost track of years.
Yeah, I know.
Being honest, everything's all blended into one.
Right. But Cranston East, obviously, they've had a challenge kind of trying to piece that program back together. So
big win for the Bolts last week.
Yes,
they're coming in with some momentum, and they're coming in with a coach who's going to be like, "I'm not losing on this field, guys."
And they need to have some momentum going in there because Pontigansett is always Chieftain football. It's not very glossy, but it's very effective.
And I'm not going to say I have inside information living in the town, and I don't, but I wouldn't be shocked if they don't cut the grass the entire week. I know they got a soccer game on Tuesday against Burrillville. If I'm them, no, we're not cutting the grass. We're going to make sure it's real high. We want to slow down this Cranston East team. Yeah. You know what? I'm even going to do you a favor, JP.
Wow.
That's what a nice guy. I'm going to pick first.
Okay.
And because I like my school district that I'm in, because I don't want to get harassed by kids who are in my neighborhood, I'm going to take Pontigansett to win this game. I just think the way they played, especially coming off that win against Mount Hope, they're establishing themselves. They're tough. They're going to play tough. They're going to play this game at a pace they want. I'm taking Pontigansett.
I'm taking Pontigansett too. I'm going to keep it easier. Why would I go out on a limb, right?
Yeah, this is JP.
Right.
If he's going to be wrong, if I'm wrong and he's wrong, he's happier with that. We have to.
All right, we get
differ on one
on
of
this
these
last
things.
one. Okay.
Last game, Division 4. Davies at Hope. This was a game I didn't think at the start of the year I'd ever be talking about, ever have any interest in. All of a sudden, Davies reeling the defending D4 champs. They're 0-2. Hope 2-0, off to one of the best starts in years for this program. I don't want to say this is a defining game for Hope, but I think if they win this one, now all of a sudden they're feisty. I mean, if you're one of these kids, you have to be jacked for this game, right? Because this could be the difference.
Well, and that's the thing, too. We're talking about Hope. Like, when was the last time we legitimately talked about Hope, right? So they're probably very excited. They've off to a 2-0 start. You want to keep that momentum rolling, right? It's those nightmare seasons of the last couple of years. If you want to keep that train going forward and pressing forward and get a chance against the defending champs, who, again, are reeling. So you can't – this is an opportunity at home you've got to take advantage of, and you got to get a W, and then – who knows? Now we'll be covering Hope. We'll be getting back to.
I'll tell you what, you haven't seen Hope yet. Jonathan Jean Louis, don't know if I pronounced it right.
Yeah.
Monster in the middle. Got an offer from Brian already. I'm very excited to see this young man play. Okay. Generally, when I make picks, I look at stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna lean on okay, which team has the best player on the field? You got a 6'4", 270 dude wrecking havoc in the middle. Blue Wave. I got the Blue Wave in this
6'4",
one.
270.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Wow.
Just for the record, last time I picked against Davies, they gave me a T-shirt with my picture on it and a clown nose. So I know that may be coming for me on Saturday as well. But I'm Blue Wave.
Wow. I'm gonna go Blue Wave too. The home team. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just you sold it well. I mean,
6'4", 270.
Yeah. I mean, that's like
big boy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun football this weekend. I'm excited. Week 3 coming. I look at the games. Not as I thought last week's games were going to be great. Let me down. This week, I look at the schedule. Doesn't look as great, but I'm hopeful we're going to get good football Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm ready to go. JP, you're going to be ready to go?
Yeah, so ready to go.
We're ready to go. That's it. Episode 2, the Blitz Breakdown in the books. We're here every Tuesday. WPRI 12+. Make sure you download the app. Make sure you're watching it. It'll be up on the website as well. ProvidenceJournal.com. We'll have there. We're going to have clips on social. I'm sure I said something dumb in here that'll be out there. And, what a show. We're in the books. We'll be back next week.